Hey all, this is Gnosis. Today we're doing something special because I am gonna get the yeah. Let's just actually change the first person of both of them there, and we are gonna be doing the final really challenge I have left, the final puzzle, because I did manage to get the doll. I will say though that getting the doll was very annoying because I had to redo the scenario several times. Like I did do the correct thing with waiting 15 minutes at the blood thing, and then I killed everything in there when you're at the meat grinder thing. Basically, here's the thing: like there are gonna be enemies left alive because if you're playing on casual and you only have the Requiem at that point, you don't have the other guns with you. The Requiem is just too powerful. The Requiem will use one-shot the enemies there, of course. Obviously, you cannot like stun the enemies there. Like the Requiem will use one-shot them. So what do? Well, basically, once you have cleared the thing out, like I made sure that once it had cleared out and the grinder stopped, that I climbed out. I took I took out the power thing, the power plug thing, whatever you want to call it, and then I climbed back, or I didn't climb back down, but I did shoot the enemies from above, and then I climbed down and killed the final one. Because you need to make sure that those enemies are dead in order for it to work. Because once you drain the blood, you do it correct. Because when I did try like several times when I cleared out the thing. I didn't kill any of the zombies in the meat grinder thing. I had already waited 50 minutes because after you wait the 50 minutes, you can create another save file. Basically, the last save file I did, basically, on the last save file I had, I cleared basically here I click defeat the victor and stuff that on casual and stuff that. So you have that. It's crazy that I still have the insanity one there and stuff that, but I should be able to actually have we should be able to actually have the thing and stuff that. But yeah, actually, should have used have them in the jacket. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Let's just have them in the regular jacket here, and yeah, just have the alligator snapper be in the tactical light there. Right. So we go main story. We go new game. Right, and let's just do casual. Because I forgot if it will carry over into any difficulty or if it will only carry over into the difficulty you cleared. Now, I didn't have the thing inside my box, by the way. I didn't have it inside the item box. So things might be different. Okay, so should we start with that investigation report, of course, obviously. And here is actually where you find one of the clues, by the way. There in the toilet, you can see a number 8 there. In the toilet specifically, it's pretty hard to see, but it's on the wall there. It's a number 8 there. And it's very hard to tell that it's an actual number 8 there, but yeah. And all of those things, well, some of them. Warren and White, I think, and Wilkins maybe. Or maybe it's just Warren and White. Those were like mayors of Raccoon City and stuff. That's yeah. Now it's a bit odd, right, that you have to keep the file like that. But yeah, and here is of course the handgun, the first self-defensing, which is a small, tiny little gun and stuff that. And apparently, or not this gun. It's the other gun that's based on an actual.
Should be around here.
There's that's him, right? That's not him. There's another guy that looks even more similar to Mistake somewhere. That is meant to go past you at one point. Maybe he has already gone past us. Because there's another guy with hat, not that guy either. This guy, I think. Because that's the guy that actually bumps into you on purpose, the guy on the cell phone there. So that, yeah. I mean, here you can read some files here also as well, Brentwood City. And supposedly, from what I've heard, the DLC is supposed to be like both of them are supposed to be like prologue DLC and stuff that. I don't know, we have gone through this place so many times and stuff there, but yeah. And supposedly also when it comes to making the zombies fight in the actual hospital, which I haven't done yet, by the way. Apparently, the way you're supposed to do it is actually use a bottle, and then you abuse the zombie that is blind, which is the IV zombie basically. So you need to have gotten into one of those wings where you have one that is blind. Basically, it's the one that screams like "quiet" or something like that. You know, is that one specifically? Yeah. So we're just going to be playing until we get the which might take a while, of course. Depends on how quickly we go through certain areas and stuff. That's right. But yeah, because see, something that I want to do at some point is actually something I want to do at some point is where's the thing again? Was it in this room? I forgot if it was in this room or not, or if we could use the advance. You know, right. We need this first here. Headroom 204. It's a bit weird when it's like first person and stuff that's right, you know, like it's very, very different and stuff that's right. But I really like the fact that you can play through like the entire game if you want to in like first person and stuff that, but yeah. So the only challenges we have left is the internal dispute and the final puzzle. And I should of course be able to find the final puzzle. I should be able to do it on the thing, but yeah. And of course, there are certain rooms here that doesn't have much of a point. I mean, there are some interesting files you can read and other stuff. You know, there are some like interesting things, like you know, like all the files are important and stuff that you know to read and stuff that. But yeah. But of course, the whole game becomes very, very differently when it's like first person and stuff that compared to like third person. Like certain things are way easier to judge, like certain distances are way easier to judge when you're playing in third person and stuff that because yeah. And by the way, the liquor one was really annoying, cutting off the liquor tongue, because here's the thing, right? Pairing a liquor tongue once doesn't mean that you just cut it off, because I had already paired at that point like a liquor tongue and stuff that, and it didn't cut it off. And I don't know if it has to do with the distance from when it leaks you. And sometimes it's very, very rare that they leak. Sometimes they just want to leak you very often. And you might say that, oh, it has to do with the distance. Just turn off the radio here. But yeah.
What?
Can we do that? We do this.
Stay close.
Oh.
Come on, wait. Grace.
And supposedly one of the DLC is actually supposed to be with Grace's mom and stuff that. But from what I've heard, the DLC is only supposed to be with Leon. But those are like the two DLCs that are already like being worked on and stuff that are already almost done, completing and stuff that. Which I'm guessing aren't just going to be the only two DLC. I'm guessing they're going to probably do way more. I hope at least, because we need a mercenaries mode. And it's not only because of the fact that, yes, there is a lot of black costumes in this, because keep in mind, right, that in 5 was the first game that did it, by the way. Because in Resident Evil 5, the different costumes were like the completely different characters when it came to the mercenaries mode. Now, sadly, of course, you do get the gun here and everything, but you get no actual combat. There's actually no enemies actually to kill at all, and stuff that's right. And they try to make it like, oh, it's so scary and stuff like that. No, but it's not that hard, right? It's just, you know. It is a bit, of course, it is very understandable, like when you're playing in first person, when you're playing this for the first time, like, oh, you're meant to be like all jumpy and stuff there because she's jumpy and stuff, that's right. But, you know, I said, oh, her part is not survival horror at all, in my opinion, you know, and stuff that. And you might say, well, but her part is so much survival horror. She has the limited inventory space and stuff that. Right, you can actually get the map here, actually. There's nothing that you get, even if you get all the floor plans and stuff, that's right, all them like maps. Yeah. In the restroom, you don't even go inside. But yeah, but imagine that if they could have had more like hidden stuff in the game, right, and stuff that, like, imagine how cool that would have been, right, you know. And you normally meant to go now to where the like the painting is and stuff that's, you know. Yeah, I know it wasn't this way. But I want to go back there to see if anything changed, you know. Because we don't need to like hurry super much and stuff that, right, you know. Oh, the cables. Because yeah. Of course you can be in here and you cannot flush toilets. You know. Imagine if there would been more secrets and stuff that, right? Like, you know, and this is where you can open like the toilet and be like, oh, you know. Yum yum yum, delicious. And that just feels very like, oh, that just feels like very, very, you know, RE7-esque when you have that whole thing with the whole toilet and stuff that, you know, like, you know, like actual maggots, right? Also supposed to be actual maggots, you know, instead of, yeah. And the fact that she even comments like, oh, it's not to be like blah, 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 or whatever, right? You know. And I really like how they try to make it be like, oh, it's supposed to be super scary when she's in the lobby and stuff that, you know, and then, yeah, but yeah. Right, so yeah. It is way more disorienting, I feel like, in the first, because, I mean, there is no FOV slider, right, that becomes available when you play in, like, in the actual first person, like, there is no actual FOV slider and stuff that, which would have been, like, really, really helpful, and stuff that with the thing, you know, would have been pretty useful and stuff that, at least for the first person thing. So, of course, finds that. And then, of course, she reads the thing first. The beep beep bop boop boop. Yeah. Her mom's urinal. And she mentions that hooded man, and then, of course, you have the disc. Which, you know, the disc always reminds me of the whole. You don't need to evade, you can take that damage, basically. That's completely fine. Yeah. I like the symbol. I like the symbol. It is tiny bird. But then, of course, the whole thing with them being like, there are people that are like, oh, but they were like, oh, they wanted her to die when they sent her to this place all alone and stuff that, right? But it's just, of course, the fact that, you know, yes, she's someone that investigates stuff, you know, and stuff that, and she only has that one handgun, you know, and stuff that, right, you know. One, he says for us to run. The question is though, what happens if you don't try to run for the exit here? What happens if you try to run somewhere else, you know, and stuff that, you know. And then Leon starts with the alligator snapper, but yeah, but it doesn't start with any like upgrades or whatever. But there is of course one upgrade that you normally find and stuff that's, yeah.
Me? Never.
The thing is, you just want to buy the RPG almost immediately and stuff that, like, or as early as possible as you can. You know, stuff that's, yeah. So let's just equip the DSO there. We can actually get it first. Because that is because you find the compensator normally in a certain specific spot and stuff that's yeah. We can sell the med inject and we can use sell the handgun ammo here so you can get 2400 immediately. You could theoretically get the Gall immediately there if you want to. Or you could, for example, go for the Matilda because Matilda is actually pretty good. But I'm actually gonna turn up the Alligator Snapper actually. So we could get that. Yeah, let's just get the red dot sight because that helps a lot with the precision on it. What the hell, lady? Boom! Shakalaka. But yeah, but there's actually a lot of stuff to pick up here. Normally it's very, very easy to miss stuff here because I don't remember where everything is. You know, and stuff that, right? You know. I forgot if there were something already back then and stuff that... Oh, right, there is a tracking module I've already missed. Because it's very close to where the box is, the tracking module specifically. I believe it's actually right next to the box here. It's actually on the box itself here. Because that would have given me 5000 there. Yeah. And I already have a file where I have certain of the guns already, like what I went with, like the Matilda, I went with this. I went with the Gal, like a fully upgraded those and fully upgraded classic and stuff that, right? And I tried to keep that file, you know, to, you know, make sort of things, you know, but yeah. But yeah, because what you should actually do is get the RPG and then basically just run through the game until very, very far into the game, and then just get enough money to where you can fully upgrade like all of the like the base guns. So like for example, like so that you can fully upgrade one of the handguns, one of the shotguns, one of the submachine guns, and then one of the revolvers. Of course, the bonus ones here like the Ghost Grudge, the Redemption, the Clatter Carbine, and yeah, all of those guns are like they don't need to be upgraded. The same thing with Mortal Edge. However, the Matilda, of course, IMP, which is which is a bonus weapon, can be upgraded. But yeah, let's get high capacity mag. And get 3000 there. Okay. So if we did get that, I just want to double make sure here. I want to double make sure. Yeah, okay, so you cannot go back there. Okay, good. Because the Alligator Snapper, in my opinion, isn't technically like a bad gun. It's not the best thing ever, but, you know, it's not the worst either. So that prevents it from going there. But yeah, as you can see.
Gabriel would lock down.
What? Is it something to do with Victor?
Yeah. He's the one to thank for all the excitement.
Yeah, there you found another tracking module there. Let's fix that. We should have the winch again. And I think there's one on this side somewhere. I forgot because actually, I believe also the amount that there is changes depending on the difficulty. Because I'm pretty certain that you actually, if you play on Insanity, you actually end up getting way more than on other difficulties. Good, let him get away. There's a way to let him get away, though. I mean, technically he does get away, you know, but you know what I mean. You know.
Can't let him get away.
Yeah. It's a bit weird that they don't allow you to go in here or whatever, right? As you can see, because it's not, you know, it is interesting. Leather repair locksmith. Howberry and Merchant Street. Okay. Getting of that there. There's some audio. I did miss one. Haha. Score. Yeah, because the way the map works is actually that it shows up like stuff on the map and stuff that. So there is a tracking model here somewhere. Is that used for my corpse stand from some kid? No, it's actually back here. In the back of the truck, yeah. Yeah, so keep in mind if like a car or something is open, you know, and stuff that can often be something. It looks almost like that was Grace's model actually. Okay, handgun ammo. Alright, then we can pick up our green herb here. Brains. Okay. That aim snapping, man. You only have access to it, of course, on casual and stuff that's right. Because imagine if there was a way to override this to use this. Because I'm guessing that there are going to be people on PC, so they're probably going to figure out a way to use this aiming, right? You know, especially if they add mercenaries mode, you know.
Let's make this quick.
Yeah, you can see mixed herbs are over here. Okay, so we can get a 111 immediately here. Alright, you cannot combine yet. Wait. Can. You don't have access to the crafting thing yet, but you can do that combining it. There's also going to be an ammo. This is the one that had a herb, right? This is just where the herb was over there. There's more on the stairs, you can see. There's one of those things if you want to throw it. Handgun ammo. There was a guy there actually. You were still alive. Because it is actually worth spending time here. Making sure that you kill absolutely everything and stuff that, because you know there is a lot of stuff that you can get that you can miss here. So there's like a lot of black kill potential, like a lot of credits you can just get immediately, you know, and stuff that, you know. Okay. Oh, he just came out of nowhere. Boom. Get the kind of execution move, which is actually, I believe, technically it counts as a parry that you time your luck when you aim, kind of like you would like do the whole parry thing with the axe, but you instead use the aim button. I forgot when it ends here, because there's just a certain trigger point that you have to reach, and if you wait with reaching that point, you can actually keep on killing enemies. But I don't think they will keep respawning infinitely here. I don't think they only spawn up to a certain point. But then you're supposed to go a certain direction here to end it. I think it will end if I go here. No. But I think it's only if you go up that it ends. I don't think it will end if I go over here, for example. Yeah, that doesn't end it. It's only if I go forward when it ends. Right. And here's the thing that do this here actually. Oh, that's just a regular human. Oops. That's just a regular human. Like, you can't get away. No! I woke up. I was naked. I woke up. I was naked. I was like, yeah. And I found a vibrator stuck up my ass. Yeah. I was super. Dad stuck something up my arse. It hurted so much. Yeah.
Where the hell am I?
Where the hell am I? Ooh. Yeah, so back in town. And then you're meant to turn it on, but yeah. Imagine all the people were like, oh no, the horse statue. Nay. The horse statue is gonna come alive, it's gonna be a boss fight. And it's pretty funny because this on the horse here, like, you see the face is covered and then it kind of wears like gauntlets. I believe that's actually supposed to be death. Actually, like, it's the pale horse, like it's a Grim Reaper and stuff like that. And imagine like having the fucking Grim Reaper in a hospital, like, okay, like something. I'm pretty certain that that's supposed to be what that is because the amount of stuff they put in this, the amount of like references to other things, is pretty insane, right? There are like a lot of really, really cool stuff, and stuff like a lot of cool details if you actually pay attention to certain things. And this key is like really, really cool, like cherub key, specifically, like, oh, it's very intricate, it's like ivory, like 100% this is like an ivory key and stuff right? And it's like really, really cool looking, and stuff and then you're like, oh man, it's like, home nursing, self-care hexagon, and I mean the lightning and shadow effects in this is just so much ahead of all the other previous Resident Evil games, and then they make this very, very obvious that this is the door to unlock with this key like nothing else, and stuff they make it very, very clear because you can see the cherub above the door thing, and stuff like they make it just very, very obvious. And there's the same, of course, obvious, and you can say without any ink ribbons and stuff and there's no box, of course, in this section yet. There's the empty bottle. Although I forgot if you actually get to keep those bottles or not. There's the lighter. It's a very ornate lighter, but this is really cool, right? Because this is the outside of the actual building that you can see on the lighter there, and it says something. I think there is a text there on that or a year or something like that, but it's very, very hard to make out there because you cannot zoom in enough on it. Stuff Was that in this room? Was that just in here? Yeah, because that's one of the places where it can actually come and stuff the monster. Yes, let's normally write this first save here that I have here, this number 29 save, is actually the one where I got some of the weapons fully upgraded and stuff but yeah. But the thing you should probably do is like an insanity run, I think, because I think that you have more cash gaining potential in an insanity run. So that you can gain just way more cash than normal. But since the thing won't come yet, by the way, because the thing won't spawn until a certain thing happens. But yeah, but this is the book, by the way. Harriet Jones' Shadow Ghost. The funny thing is it looks like it says West Storehouse Press. And West is, of course, West in Swedish. So I don't know if it's actually, have you seen the Shadow Ghost hiding in the dark? Have you seen the Shadow Ghost staying from the light? Have you seen the Shadow Ghost? Because she's watching you. They're in the light and then it's blood, basically. And you're like, oh shit. And stuff Now you have this whole classic here, like, oh shit, a lamp! I get assaulted by a lamp. Staff, I moved some items out of the closet. The screwdriver is now in the toolbox in the nurse's station. The sewing kit, text is blurred and illegible. Yeah, so you actually never get that sewing kit. Misc toys, stacking toys, animals, balls. That's what she said. And then you can see someone has painted like, like someone with a basically because you wouldn't put a king crown on a female, so that's very clearly supposed to be a queen or a princess. And then that person is their friend, but then you can see it's darkness and then it's like light and stuff that, right? So, you know, so it seems like the patients here knew about the monster thing or whatever, right? Or, as long as they kept like the light, the monster wouldn't come for them or something like that, you know. It's broken. And of course, this eventually breaks open as well due to the monster and stuff that, because, yeah. But the thing is, why is the monster trying to go after Grace technically? Or does Grace look, is it that Grace looks similar enough to Emily and stuff that's right? But that is thing. Hello, cutie monster. And of course, she doesn't fall over. That only happens in third person, by the way, they're falling over. And of course, you will see the thing here, you will see that this is where you learn, because it will come after you here. So there, but you will see that, oh, it burns, and you find out that, okay, it doesn't like the heat. But you can easily just figure out that, that, oh, this is, you can easily figure out that monster is one of the girls, from the orphanage and stuff that to due to the fact that, yes, like it's very like Lisa Trevor-esque, and stuff that very much,
This looks important. Maybe.
And while she's annoying with a lot of times, but that is mostly due to her like screaming and stuff like that, and it is understandable, of course, it's not meant to be like a ho-ho, like she's annoying because she screams so much, and stuff like that. I don't think it comes in here. I don't think it's even close. It just makes that sound so you would think that it will come down in here. But it won't. It's just that you hear it basically, but it won't come in here until it hears a certain sound because it's basically scripted. Like, even if I were to just run around here and make like a shit ton of noise and just run into stuff, like, it wouldn't actually come in here. It doesn't, like, you could wait here, probably, you could probably off go here without even having to deal with it, but yeah. Yeah. And now it's gonna come. Now it comes 100%.
This way.
And I forgot how far you can be out here or not, and stuff like that, because, yeah. Because you can see this has a top part here, as you can see, but it's so much easier to tell if you're safe. But yeah, but I mean, we should be safe because this is above here and stuff like that, right, And the thing is, this is her friend, this is the actual doll, who the doll is based on. This is the actual quote-unquote Marie, which was friends with her, the other girl. But the other girl is, of course, special and stuff like that, right, because, stuff that, because the thing was, that they tried to find the whole Elpis thing, they tried to find that whole thing, like they thought that, oh, it's a super, like, bioweapon or whatever, right, that's what the Wesker clone. But I don't think that Zeno is meant to be like a Wesker clone, because then it doesn't make sense. Like, how does he have the Raccoon City infection, which requires you to have been to Raccoon City? And if he is a clone of Wesker, he wouldn't have it just because, like what they cloned Wesker like after his death, which then he would have had like the Raccoon City disease or something like that. But then the whole thing also about Wesker is of course you learn about Yeah, she's outside there now, as you can see. You can see where it is. So you know that you're safe, basically. I think I need to move it slightly more. Not that much more, though. But there is a way to do it is that I've shown before that you can do this. You can do this without actually getting screwed, right? I think we need to have this on though. Right, then it will climb down here, or it will come down here basically, and it will be like, oh ho ho, there you are, and you can just run from her and stuff like that, because it's better to run this way, because then this will be broken now over here. And it shouldn't be able to catch us, by the way, because it will be able to catch you, of course. You cannot outrun it on the insanity. But I believe it actually gets scared here, because it doesn't come in here for whatever reason, even though the light is out. So it should come here, of course, obviously. But this triggers this scene, and this is just an escape scene. Like, you cannot save there. I mean, maybe you can, but then you will just get killed if you go try and save there, and stuff like that, right? Mr. Scott Kennedy. And then you can loot a tactical module. Don't forget that in the actual first thing there, that you can loot another tactical module here. Beep beep boppity boop boop. Welcome. Eating kills. Tracking module times 3 common. Boom. 18,000. Should we just sell the alligator snap? Yeah, let's just sell it, because you do get to actually keep all the upgrades that you have already done to it. So we can do this, boom, boom, boom. And then we used, just get that. We get that. We get the case upgrade. Yeah, we don't get the body armor yet. And then basically the thing will be that this is what you should have gotten right away there, because you would have been able to afford it. You just get the rocket launcher and stuff like that. That's the only thing really you need.
Experimental therapies.
But it is so weird, right? Like, Grace is like in that like right. Chester, Winston Lindgren, treasurers. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it's too hard to see here. If we had sniper here, we could maybe see. I forgot if you could go back here or not. Yeah, because this is the part after the elevator. This is the part that normally is closed. Like, you cannot go back here normally. And stuff that, You're normally not allowed to go back there, and stuff that. Because, yeah. Because that's the elevator technically, right, that you come up from after the basement, right? Let me just double check. Is that the same elevator? Yes, it is. Yes, it's that elevator. That you come and then you run through that. Okay, yeah. It is that very, very same one. Because, I mean, the amount of details to, like, different things that are in this game is, like, absolutely insane, and stuff that, The amount of references to, like, to different Resident Evil games, and then, like, other stuff, So you can tell that there's green herb in here, like a green herb mix. And this is where you use the same shop, vroom, 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 here. Quality layering center, yes. The quality layering center. We have to stop the evil Somalians. Shit. Evil Dr. Snuggles. I think they're dead. Oh no, power her. And I believe that Leon cannot cause them to fight each other, I don't think. You know. Okay, get that. Get the mixed green herb. Okay. No, you are. Did I already? Yeah, we have already looted that.
Well, that went well.
That went well. Stars. Fucking man with the rocket launcher. Man, that Nemesis mode. Or Leon mode. You play as Leon, you have a rocket launcher, and you hunt down the evil. You hunt down the evil liberal women with their weird hair colors, you know, because if they have weird hair colors, they're most likely completely mentally insane and be like, "Rah, you're not meant to say mean words towards this Somalian." Stand back, I have a chainsaw from. Get out of the room. Dun dun dun. Mission accomplished. Leon, you completed such a dangerous mission. Want to play with my Atlas breakas. Atlas breakas. Who left that message though? Because that who wants me to go off the message? It would actually be fun if actually they's in this. You know, and stuff that, you know, and you know.
Did it again. How are things on your end?
I just hacked into the center's network.
Good. Good. Can you find me the floor plan?
I'll see what I can do.
No, I'm curious though, like one of the charms. I kind of wish that there would be a charm inventory somewhere where you can see all the charms that you have and stuff that, right? Because I'm curious what a certain charm says in Japanese, because that would basically solve the whole question that everyone has, like, oh, who is that Leon is married to and stuff that, right? Because Leon has the ring and stuff that, right? And then of course they asked one of the devs or whatever, right? And he said like, oh, it's very very obviously if you have played, you know, the game that the game tell literally right outright tells you. Very fast, and she gets a single bullet. Except single bullet means infinite ammo. So yeah. And yeah, she starts with very, very little inventory space, of course, obviously. But I hope that the doll is still in the thing, because I didn't put the doll inside the box. When I clear the game, I made sure that I had the doll on her actually instead, you know. The funny thing is, of course, the first time to the game, by the way, this box won't even be here. This box only shows up after the fact and stuff like that, right? Because it doesn't show up the first time you play through the game. It's very nice. This whole the whole symbol for it and stuff like that. It's very, very nice, you know. No smoking, quiet zone. And you can see, yeah, this is where the elevator would be over there. So that, but when you are in the elevator, you can go back to somewhat to it, you know, and stuff like that. You cannot go back super, super far. or anything, but still, it's pretty nice. But yeah, but let's see, because if this doesn't have the thing now here, I mean, it should be in here 100% because I did play through with it. Yeah, Marie's stall is there. You can see Marie's stall is here. We be together forever and ever, but I believe you don't need to take out the doll yet. The question is, do we need any of the charms with us? Probably not. Let's just go with Freya's needle there. And let's just go with the green herb. You store that. Right. And I don't think we need a rugged rookie or anything with us here. You know what? We can probably just store them and injector here as well. Okay. And we save. And of course, we need to actually get the. There is one thing that you actually need to do, by the way. Director Victor Gideon. Sil Bennett, lead research Anthony Rickardson, and Luke Clark. Dignity of the Moon, Trust of the Sun, Serenity of the Star, we are partners. Yeah, so that's where the Sun, Moon, and the star stuff come from, Yeah, and there's another green herb. And we can, of course, combine those. So that's, we get the golden anti-con. The funny thing is the different anti-cons looks different, of course, obviously, It's funny thing that they mention used for games and stuff. That is pretty interesting. And she has the book, and a lot of people are saying that, oh, the book she has is the book from, and you can see here, the hole is where she climbed out the Marie, the actual Marie, not the Marie doll, but the Marie character, which became the monster, of course. But the monster, of course, was very tiny back then and stuff like that, and then it became big, from eating others, of course, obviously. So, It does not give you the map, though, by the way, doing that, You would think that it would, but it does not. But. And I think it is the east wing that you have need to have access to before you can meet the thing. So we don't want to, of course, kill every enemy, and that's where we need that thing. But then it's good to use to do this so that these just show up so you know where the security points are. Let's go to the kitchen where the butcher thing will be. Yeah, he does fairly easy actually. Anchor key. And of course you have this that Leon will be able to open. This. Oh. And you have handgun ammo. However, right, like I thought that ammo that she picks up doesn't matter, but it seems like some of her ammo actually turns into stuff for Leon, because I feel like when you get to play as Leon again, that sometimes he has like way more ammo than he normally has and stuff like that. But yeah, don't pick up the scab. No, but identify these basically. So yeah, so that they will show up here, or they will eventually show up. I believe they won't show up until you actually get the blood thing. By the way, that's when they will start showing up. So yeah. Yeah, he is not a bad guy or anything. Because the blind guy, by the way, or we can use that as an emergency if we actually get grabbed, which is nice. This is of course a lot big spot. And he will just be obsessed over that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we need to pick up that though. And that just unlocks that path here. It's nice. Okay, I turn off that. And this is where we get the actual Beretta gun.
Bullets.
Yeah, let's actually kill some here. And their first melee attack isn't particularly good at all. Yeah, I like that this is an actual Beretta and stuff that, you know, that is actually... There's a hunting knife though. I kind of wish though that they made these different, right? That the hunting knife should definitely be stronger than the regular like makeshift knife and stuff that, right? That they should just be way better than this. Yeah, he dies in one hit. He dies in one hit to the face. Okay. And how much can we recall? Okay, good. This is of course where we will receive one of the inventory space upgrades. And there's a handgun ammo. Nothing in that one. And in here you have another makeshift knife, so there's a lot of makeshift knives that you can use. You can of course melee enemies to death, by the way. Which isn't a bad idea if you use the proper charm with it, you know, and stuff, but yeah. Oh, there's a coin. Don't mind if I do. And you just do this here and we try to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna open it. Yeah, I'm so strong. Watch this. Yeah. It's useless. You kick this and there's more handgun ammo. I actually really liked the fact that this is a Beretta one and stuff that, you know. Oh, I only have room for one. Okay, I need to remember that we only have one in the inventory space there. Let's go to the top floor though, because we can get our green herb here, and then we combine these, of course, obviously. We combine, boom. And of course here we cannot open because Leon gets access to that section and not her. Although it's pretty funny that there is a place that she can go later on once Leon has opened it up, like she is actually able to go to a certain place. But the thing is that she going there doesn't really matter at all. And that does actually give you the map, by the way. So yeah. And we cannot go through here yet. To the kitchenette. And this is where you have one of the singer ones. You don't mess with her. And there's another place for Leon to open. Right, then there's the building on the outside. the Rhodes Hill Hospital. We can get another green herb and we can get the triple combo, which is the full hit. And you can see here over there, so you can, for example, safely shoot them from over here and they won't know what hit them, of course, obviously. It's the shaman's office. And just turn on the light here. Get this first here. And it's interesting that this is specifically like a unicorn trinket. And of course, this red jewel here is very, very similar to the one in Resident Evil 2, actually. So that is an obvious reference. There's a pencil there, you don't need to open that though. So V is of course for Victor Gideon. We already know what the solution is. Because it's the shaman's, not the moon. Moon, sun, star, moon. So moon, sun, star, moon. Yeah, don't go for that yet though. So at first we go over here, because we do have enough. So, right, we need to go downstairs first. Yeah.
I hate this place.
I hate this place.
What if I can't get out?
What if I can't get out? What if I can't get out? It's Bran. It's Bran. It's Bran. Popido. It's Bran. Popido. It's Bran. It's Bran. It's Bran. Popido. It's Bran. We get these and we get no. And of course, this is also very good, getting this as early on as possible. This, the one that lets you carry 50 more and stuff like that. But there you have the roids, and then you have the thing that increases your gun handling, basically, and the gun strength. Yeah. Delicious hand. Wing key card. Well, we can get another green herb. And another empty coin. Press this boom. Another empty coin. Wait, was this always blue, huh? Yeah, there's a way to basically shoot it to make it land on a certain square, and you can basically grind. I forgot if it allows you to grind like infinite of the thing or not, yeah. Yeah. So in the Panther we do have some ammo there we can get. We need to go, of course, and get that eventually as well. Yeah. And basically, how we call this is basically to do the final solution, by the way. And I believe you actually get to do a certain thing a couple of times. Because you need to, of course, have done the basement part, by the way, before we get to do the thing. Because if you do it earlier, you cannot, because you need to have her with you and stuff like that, right? Which is why it's only after the basement part, so that's, yeah.